What do we got? We got ourselves team 2 with Kragars, first man in that team with. We got ourselves Yasa as a Demonology Warlock, sticking to his guns on that one. Masterfoot is a Boomy, gonna be going up first. In the back, we got ourselves Aniki with Archeorc. And Kryzer is gonna be first up as an Affliction Warlock. Is gonna be chasing the back with Paladin, with Jellyfy, and Propal. Wait, Propal, does that mean like lost? Like, does that mean literally lost? Like, disappeared. We call him Pro. Oh, we should call him disappeared. I feel like disappeared would work pretty well. Gonna be Masterfoot, get an opener, and Kryze is still mounted. We're gonna be able to line aside Masterfoot and gonna get the dots in there too. Masterfoot is gonna take those dots in there, but I think Kryzer is maybe potentially playing Corruption with a slow. But I think Masterfoot can just shift out of the slow. Mortal Coil getting sent out of the Druid with Soul Rot, and it's gonna be Kryzer actually trying to see. It looked like he was kind of bailing away from Masterfoot, maybe trying to see if he can juke around him on the side. It looks like he decided to bail out of there completely. He did end up doing his sacrifice. Masterfoot with that, what is that airtime just now? With a bash from a mile away, double stun into Kryzer while he is silenced. Gonna be reflective level for Kryzer. As it lines Masterfoot, getting dots up and running. What is that airtime with a bash, dude? That was kind of cool. Just leaping over him. That's gonna be a big Convoke with a roar. Had to interrupt his own Convoke just to get a roar into Kryzer. Stop his cast for a second. Masterfoot is gonna take quite a bit of damage though. Is going to recover a lot of the Frenzied Regen, dude. That Frenzied Regen is a massive, massive boon right now. With how much more hybrid they made all the Druids. That ends up actually being such a massive boon in terms of the damage you can mitigate and recover from. It's actually so strong. And what is that? I feel like that Typhoon was a little bit sketch, but I guess that worked. It looked like it kind of went through the wall. But I guess it works out. Kryze getting the dots back up into Masterfoot. He's going to leap back out of there. Going to be a port for Kryze. It does have a Mortal Coil to follow. Soul Rod trying to come out onto Masterfoot. Does get the Soul Rod by the looks of it. Going to be silenced, but Masterfoot with a stun to Kryze. Trying to walk out of the silence. Mortal Coil onto Masterfoot. Getting a UA up and running. Looks like it's going to be Trinket out of Masterfoot. Trying to avoid the UA. Trying to deal with the dots. Shadow Fury around the corner does not land. And Kryze really needs to get a UA into Masterfoot to really enhance the dots. Especially if he's rolling, and he should be rolling solo UA, then he's able to increase the amount of damage the enemy takes while UA is on him by 10%. So all those dots sticking out as fast as they are with the UA on top of it is huge. Shadow Fury around the corner, Kryzer. I mean, going against a mobile classic as Boomies, last duel, it was a long one just because Boomies and Druids in general have so much mobility. You could just get behind the pillar, catch a few re-heals, and you could just sustain yourself for quite a while too. But those dots, they really do set in. They're really, I mean, look at Masterfoot. Most of his health, big drain life coming out. Masterfoot actually having to interrupt it. I didn't realize Kryze was playing the big drain build until I saw this big portion of Masterfoot's health just getting chunked out. Kryze taking lots of damage from, oh, big Star Surge just turned around into Masterfoot and that reflect, drain soul. But that's going to be the pod. Does he have enough damage for the pod? I don't know if he has enough damage for the pod. Trying to see if he can rapture through the pod. Can he do it? He does. Oh my god, the Warlock with dots actually has a better time with a pod than a Fire Mage fireballing. Oh my goodness. That was huge. The reflect was awesome. It's just too bad. Too bad. Masterfoot got so lucky with his Convoke. There was just mostly Star Surge. It just, the reflect was up and those Star Surges went back to him. Gonna be a stun from Yasa from afar. Gonna be Kryze Trinket. I got the stun as Yasa trying to summon a Tyrant. Second stun around the corner. It looks like Kryze baited a stun and took it behind the pillar. The pet is up and running. That's going to be the Felguard's actually doing quite a good amount of damage. Mortal Coil into Yasa. Does get reflect rolling a little bit early. Kryze is going to get a Mortal Coil. It's going to be Decimating Bolt. I think maybe reflected back to Yasa. No, he actually gets a Decimating Bolt off. That's going to be Demon Bolts flying, doing lots of damage. Kryze having to turn around and drain life from the pet. Going to be second pet dissipating now. Wow, Yasa actually got himself a nice solid opener onto Kryze. He's going to have to start putting dots on the pets. Maybe start getting some of the self-heals up and running as well. And Yasa so far is in a really dominant spot. He got such a massive advantage in health. Has a gateway in case he needs to escape, or I guess if he needs to chase after Kryzer. So he has a way. He does have a port next to it in case. Kryzer has exactly the same thing. Stun into Kryzer from around the corner. Yasa gonna get even more pets in there. Looks like he is, I think, a legendary proc where he's able to deal more damage, or his pets are able to deal more damage. Either or. Kryzer having to wall these pets. I mean, the Felguard as well as the puppies all do work. Wait, did Kryzer? Okay, he set up a gateway to go even further. than ever before. And Yasa chasing after him as he's getting himself a new pet. But looks like the pet is slowed. Wait, he is running a slow Lego with corruption. That pet is so slow. Yasa got himself reflect available. Chrysler knows not to reflect anything back to himself like Mortal Call. I'm starting to see if he might be able to get around the corner. Going to be even more pets available for Yasa. Trying to go for a big tyrant. Going to be a trinket for Yasa as he gets hit with a Mortal Call stun onto Chrysler. It looks like a tyrant is going to get at least one cast off onto Chrysler. The big Warlock port does get used for Chrysler. Trying to go for a fear onto at least one of the pets. Going to be the tyrant up in his face. Going to get the slaps in. Drain life is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. But Chrysler is super low on health right now. Actually not in a good spot. Yasa does himself the Necrolord shield on top of all the damage. And his pets are actually just sharing at Chrysler. We're only at 8% dampener. Trying to maybe Shadow Fury around the corner onto Yasa. Does land the Shadow Fury. And does Chrysler have a gateway again? He's going to get a lot of drain life. A lot of heals from the pet though. So he is playing the drain life build. Maybe he has a gateway here. Does a reflect available. Yasa does hit him with a slow. That's going to be Mortal Call, allowing Chrysler to catch up on health. But now Yasa can go for Mortal Call with stuns and get himself lots of CC chains. Going to be that gateway for Chrysler. Gets so much range away, and Yasa having to set up another gateway. The pet is... I mean, the pet is just going to get... Oh my god, Chrysler actually just drained the life out of the pet. What? What is that health at the end? Did he get a Warlock Hellstone at the end? That was huge. Soul Rod from afar. Yasa does not have a way to... Actually, no, he does interrupt it. I was thinking he doesn't have a way to interrupt it for a second, but he does. You can forget in the Honor Town with the Fell Puppy, they can do an interrupt. Reflect available. Chrysler trying not to get those dots back on himself. I don't think he was able to Night Fate dot himself with Soul Rod. I don't think he did. Reflect coming up. It's going to be Tyrant. Tyrant cannot... Well, Tyrant doesn't really care about getting Reflect. Big damage onto Chrysler. He's getting slowed. The port does come out. Does get away from the Tyrant for a second. I think it's going to be a bit of a back and forth like this. For Yasa, though, being Demonology and having most of his abilities all cast is a bit tough. The pets, if he can go for some kind of like a CHC chain lockdown with a Mortal Call into a stun, he'll be in a good spot. Try to go for a Decimated Bolt into Chrysler. Does he go for a big Demon Bolts? If he has any big Demon Bolts, would be the perfect opportunity to sling him out right now. Has the Reflect coming out, so he actually could run up at Chrysler with a pre-Reflect. Going to be another gateway for Chrysler. The mobility is taking the stun super far away. Double Demon Bolt chunking out Chrysler. I might just have to go for Drain Life on the pets. Get as much health from him as possible. Put up Agony on as many of them so you can buff up the damage as well as the healing of your next Drain Life. That's exactly what he's going to have to do. Fear now the pet. Yasa is still doing okay on health. Does have the Necrolord shield in order to keep him going. And Chrysler just tried to sneak in whatever health he can here and there. Mortal Call exchange. Going to be Yasa trinketing out. Interrupting Chrysler. Does lock him down to stun. Does Yasa finally have a go? Mortal Call around the corner trying to make a Decimated Bolt happen. And Chrysler's super low on health. I think the pets might just finish him. If Yasa has does not have a Tyrant. I was thinking maybe if he does. Couple Demon Bolts. Chrysler walling this off. Does he maybe have a big Drain Life? Maybe potentially. It is still alive. It's still kicking. Using the mobility. Yasa, again, slow pace game, but big damage from those pets. He just needs that patience, and the pets will eventually take Chrysler down. Does go for Drain Life on the pet. Getting interrupted on a Demon Bolt flying. And looks like the claw from one of those pets does hit a soft spot. Take him down finally. Damn, that was a rough one. That was a long one. I feel like Demonology World just has so much tankiness to themselves right now. And just the pets are just scaled so well without any PvP scaling brought in. Like, they actually slap. They actually do damage. Gonna be Paladin rolling in with a Fleshcraft getting interrupted as Yasa throws the pets in there. This is gonna be the big Felguard coming out. Does have the Tyrant with the Reflect in case he gets gripped in. That's gonna be Mortal Call right after. The Tyrant is doing big damage. With AMS getting burnt through very, very quickly. The Warlock ports away. Gonna be the Tyrant actually getting gripped in, stopping his cast for a second. And Paladin just does not have... Oh, gripping in the Warrior Kragar. Dropping down AMZ. But the pets are still attacking. And Paladin, does he have any more healing? Has IBF. Maybe he can go for Lichborn and self-heals. But that's gonna be even more Demon Doggos. And Yasa taking him out. Just threw down the full army of the demons, dude. The whole expansion of Outland just got chucked at that guy. Wrath of Lich King versus TBC. I guess we now know who wins. Looks like the demons won that one. Gonna be Jellyfy up next with Drain Life coming out for Yasa. Jellyfy playing the Feral is... I don't know if... You know what? I was gonna say, I think a Feral normally has an advantage against casters like this, but after watching Bear God and Abumi just go at it for 10 whole minutes with it being extremely close. Like it actually was going to be anyone could win. I don't even want to say that Jellyfy has advantage here. I don't think I can say that anymore. Trying to go for a bit of a fear onto Jellyfy. Looks like the main comes out. It's going to be chicken for Yasa. And landing that fear onto Jellyfy. Yasa is dotted up quite hard though with his bleeds. He's going to go for yet another fear. Jellyfy does just shrink at that one. And Yasa, I think, is going to have to wait until he has full pet setup. Destiny Bolt setting up, trying to get a Vile Fiend in case he gets interrupted on a Vile Fiend, which wouldn't be the worst for him. Needs to get himself more pets. Big Demon Bolt's coming out, trying to get a hand to go down up and running. Trying not to get interrupted on hand to go down. There goes the kick. And Jellyfy has quite a bit of damage for him. Walling this damage off. Basher to Yasa. Does he have enough to finish it? Walking out for the Warlock. Trying to get a Tyrant up and running. Maybe a Mortical after this? Mortical after the Sun. I think he's going to have him here. That's going to be Demon Bolt at the end. Wait, Pod is up. Pod is out. I think the pets should be able to help him kill the Pod. I think he's going to be fine. Yeah, he's A-okay. He's A-okay. Pod wasn't that much of an issue. Then Propal, which kind of translates in Russian to disappeared or vanished. I guess we'll call him vanished. Hodges himself on the reflect from Yasa. What a reflect that was. Got all those pets, the big extra Felguard available, and Vanish is just going to take a little bit of damage here. Turn Evil coming out on the pets actually can. Oh, that's a cool animation. It's like a little shimmer in the sky. Shimmer towards the demon when he goes for a fear onto those pets. Yasa gonna hit him with a slow hand of freedom available. Fear is gonna run Vanish in the all another direction. You might as well just go behind the pillar and vanish there, man. Might as well go behind the pillar and reset there. Another fear to follow. He just got himself the full setup stun right after Destiny Bolt to follow. It's gonna be quite a bit of damage unless he bubbles it. You better be careful. Gonna be a lot of pets, lots of damage. Bubbles it while he's high enough health. Well, might be okay. Yasa does go for reflect in case there's going to be a Hodge from Vanish. It looks like the Paladin is a bit in a struggle. Actually, I have to use Toll on the pets in order to gain more holy power, in order to start cycling all the holy power into Word of Glories. I think he was trying not to do that. 47% dampener dual hero boys. Hand of Freedom stopping the curse of exhaustion from the Warlock. It looks like Vanish actually might focus on the pet. Yasa might have to resummon a new one, or maybe pull the pet back and give him a bit of health. Maybe that's exactly what he's gonna do. I think he's actually gonna limit. No, he stuns the pet, but I don't think he's gonna eliminate it. Hodge into Yasa just to make sure he doesn't reflect himself. Mortical sends him running in the direction with the fear right after. Doesn't let him sit by the pillar. That's gonna be some freebie shadow balls for Yasa. Shield of Vengeance available for Vanished, as we are hitting the 50% dampener. He might still be able to get a lot of heals. He does get Seraphim rolling, so it's gonna give him more versatility. So that's more healing, more crit, maybe more crit chances for those heals. So it would be pretty good. But Yasa is out in the open with his shield versus Vanish on the other side. No Shield of Vengeance for a bit. He's gonna have to wait. Does get the big judgment, which I'm surprised he didn't dismount Yasa or put him in combat. But I guess it does work like that. I think Yasa is just gonna try to see if maybe he can bait Vanish out. He does bait him to stand still, at least mount up. Gonna be extra pets on him. Mortical is gonna be run in. He could bop it. He could technically bop it. It would stop some of the damage. But if he can get the Tyrant next to Vanish, he will be in a good spot. Looks like Vanish is trying to see if he maximizes the damage. Going to be a big port for Yasa. And the Tyrant is going to dissipate. Vanish does burn wings with all that holy power burning into Word of Glories back to back. Still able to get himself a lot of self-heals rolling. And Yasa is super far away. Just kind of bouncing around like a bean over here. Like a big green round bean. And Taste is going to be the last one on team one, unless Vanished takes it back. Does use a bop for that stun, and is able to use a bop against some of the pets' physical attacks, because there is quite a bit of physical damage that comes out. The Demon Doggos, the Vile Fiend, the Felguard, the second Felguard that joins in. That's a lot of pets. The only pet he can't really do anything for at this moment, unless he gets a bubble, which actually is going to get it really soon. 50 seconds left on a bubble. What is that CD? Must be playing like a shorter bubbles or something. Maybe that's what he's playing for. Gonna be a stun by Yasa. Vanish does have a bubble in 38 seconds. Does he live until then? Shield of Vengeance should keep him alive. Decimating Bolt blasts through that Shield of Vengeance quite easily. Just tears through it. Pokes a hole through it. Like it's not even there. Trying to get a Vile Fiend around. And Vanish again might just have to go for more Word of Glories. I think he might be trying to maybe go for a setup into Yasa. Big Demon Bolt flying. Can he get a second Demon Bolt in there? That instant cast Demon Bolt could be huge. Does he go for a port? Demon Bolt around the corner. No! Vanish almost had a bubble back. No! Unforge, boys. Unforge. And next up and last one for this team one is going to be Tasty. Yasa so far has held his own. I think the only other person... Who was the other person I got to play on team 2, actually? Was it a Druid? Was it a Druid? Because that first person, I guess they kind of came and went. Because Yasa so far has been playing a long game here. Big port away from Tasty, just trying to avoid him while the Earth Elemental is up. Stun on Tasty. That's going to be Lasso onto Yasa. Yasa, Trinket Set, that's going to get a Tyrant while Tasty is surrounded by all those pets. Second stun is he's trying to get a cast up and running. Mortal on Tasty. Maybe the Tyrant will do some damage. Tyrant just chase out of Tasty. He's going in a jog. Finally, the Tyrant is able to stand still and get some damage rolling. Banish coming out onto the pet. Tasty does get a stun on all those pets from Yasa and is going to be able to avoid the Tyrant. I think it's Grounding Totem behind him. Reflective available for Yasa. Tasty trying not to reflect anything back to himself while available for Yasa. Trying to maximize the damage. Tasty not a lot of health left. Trying to go for heal sword. Just get interrupted. It looks like Yasa with a bit of a weird camera angle. Can't really fix it. Taking out most of that team. Was that a 1v5? 1v4? 1v4. Who was it before Yasa that got to play? Because they left. I think it looked like it was a Druid, but I really don't remember. I guess Yasa just kind of, you could say, stole the show there. 60% damp, let's go. Dude, yeah, Tasty, yeah, that's a hard one. There's hard to recover from that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like anybody in that situation would have had a very hard time, but you played really well. You just stun on all those pets.